Yo, so we're here with Osh versus Eonito. You probably remember Osh from the Open Finals where he got second. But overall, I'd still say Osh. I don't know if you guys agree, but I'd say he's probably the best LC player, Sword and Shield LC player at the moment. And meanwhile, his opponent is a rising star at the moment, Eonito. He's definitely been on the grind, and I think they both have like very interesting team styles. So I think on Eonito's side, one thing that I would look out for is that he has been experimenting a lot with expert belts and life orbs on his Natus. So that's one thing that might be really good here in this matchup because Ash is playing something that's extremely bulky. It's I think this Larvesta is probably going to be Choice Scarf as speed control, and then he has Marini, Ferroseed for just a defensive core, a Drill Burr for hazard support, and I'm thinking this Nautilus is win con.
Oh yeah. The double fight resist.
Double fight resist
Definitely.
probably indicates Choice Scarf Larvesta, yeah, or offensive at least. So.
Yeah, Osh is the inventor of Drober in SS, right?
Yeah.
I would say he was the first one to use it to an extent. So this Marini, okay, so it's knockoff. It's not Covet. A lot of Marinis have been using Covet. So what Covet does is basically it's like Thief, but it's normal type. And the good thing is in this lead matchup, you can trade a knockoff for a Covet, but it doesn't hit stuff like Frillish because it's a normal type move.
Yeah, it's not exactly like Knock, right? It's like Thief, just normal type Thief basically. So
yeah,
it'll steal the item only if you have no item. Yeah. This is pretty.
I think on this team, it doesn't make as much sense to be Covet because you have like Larv as well.
So, okay, I think if I'm Osh here, my thinking is Osh has a Larvesta, right? If he can burn the Poniard and or the Mienfu, he can set up Natu on one of those. That's what I'm thinking his game planning. And if I'm Eonito, I want to chip down the Ferroseed so I can sweep with my Carvana.
Yeah,
that was a good switch into Coughing. And good knock from Osh as well. And also a good thief from
yeah, good sequence here.
No.
He got... So Mold Breaker allows for Drillbur to set up rocks on Natu. And we are going to see the slow U-turn, so it's just the standard of Violite Natu there.
I think that was just a mistake.
No, maybe it
covers the EQ also, maybe.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, I think
you don't really have a great EQ switching if you're Eric.
Yeah, because Fu is knocked.
Fu's knocked and Trapinch doesn't want to come in. Yeah, so I think that's probably like your best play overall. I wonder. Yeah, I think the Carve could win, but it's going to that Pharaoh's in the way as of right now.
Also, hazards being up is really sucks for Carve.
It does, yeah. Can't flip turn around as freely.
One thing that's interesting though is that he does have a Trapinch, so he can pretty easily trap it. So
right.
Osh is gonna have to be careful. As soon as the Carvana hits the field, it's gonna be like a game of chicken of like do they hit, do they pivot out and try to trap it? So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens when that situation shows up. And I don't think it should be too long. We should see that soon.
Yeah.
Well, Eric can also trap the Jober right here, and then Osh has no more hazard removal. But Osh would have to play much more aggressively against rocks.
Right, yeah, especially with Pawn, it's really hard to prevent rocks with just a Natu. So that is one thing to take into consideration.
I think if I were Eric, I would probably trap this here because I think even if you take a hit, you can still trap Pharaoh.
You can still trap Pharaoh after a little bit of damage. Yeah, I think that's fair. Honestly, yeah, I think.
One thing.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So one thing I wanted to touch on was that Osh's Drober is actually super fast. It outsped the Natu, so it probably doesn't have that much defensive. Because a lot of times people play their Timbers a little bulkier to switch in on Poniard. This Drober probably cannot do that. So it'll be interesting to see how he plays around it.
Right, and it already has its Violite removed as well, so it's really not going to be able to take any hits. Interesting going into Fu here.
Eric doesn't trap this. I'm not sure if Drober kills though.
I don't think it does.
Your over is pretty strong.
There's the Larv. There's the U-turn.
Ooh.
No burn.
No burn.
That's good for Eric. What do you go here?
What does he do against this Larv, though?
Do you go Carve and Protect?
It's still a speed tie at best, right?
Mm-hmm. He might not know it's Choice Scarf, though. That's very possible.
I mean, Eric can probably assume it's Scarf.
You just assume Scarf at this point.
Looking at Marini and Larv, yeah.
Yeah. Unless he's really anti-fighter, but he doesn't really have any fight weeks, so...
Yeah, this is, oh. Osh has a Fire, Water, Grass with the 3.
Yeah. This is kind of tricky. The Larvesta is actually kind of annoying for Eric's end.
Yeah, Eric, for people who don't know, Eric notoriously thinks Larvesta is not good.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm honestly thinking he might have, like, knowledge gaps of, like, he might not know fully how it works.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Yeah, that might be a potential mistake.
Well, I think he knows, but he still thinks it's bad.
I don't think he knows.
Also, the damage on U-turn confirms it's not a Violite, so...
Ah, okay, so it is definitely... So maybe that's what Eric was calculating at right there for a second. There is that U-turn, so it is faster than the coughing, so there's that.
Yeah.
No, it's not defensive.
Yeah, speaking of how Eric thinks Larv is bad, he probably thinks Scarf Larv is even more bad. It would be probably a point of honor for him to not lose against this.
Right.
It's about more than just winning for your team. It's about the narrative of what Pokemon is good and which Pokemon is bad.
Proving it's bad by beating it.
Yeah.
And then showing its replay and the
that's actually true. Like, if you think a Pokemon is bad and people use it versus you, you're gonna look like a clown if you lose to it.
Right.
So you kind of have to win.
You have to win.
Okay, so this Natu I'm thinking might be some setup Cosmic. Oh, no, it doesn't. Okay,
so it's not Life Orb or anything. Or Expert Belt. What do you do here if you're Ash? Do you just Heat Wave again?
No, that sounds awful.
Do you like predict the rocks? So I'm saying, like, do you predict, because you want to keep the rocks off at all costs, right?
Well, Heat Waving again doesn't sound horrible. Like you chip the
chip
pawn.
The pawn, yeah.
If you can kill pawn, it removes hazards for the entire game.
Right. And you can still keep the rocks off.
Yeah, maybe Eric goes hard rocks here. Who knows? That's
what I'm thinking. Like, you could potentially go hard rocks here. I feel like the better play is always to knock here, but Sucker! Whoa, that's a nice play.
Yeah, it covers both Heat Wave and U-turn.
U-turn, yeah, that's a good play. That is a really nice play from Eric's end.
Yes.
Keeps that pawn.
Forget that you can sucker
not to. Yeah, but it's not as valuable. Okay, does go.
It's not a good play normally.
Yeah. HJK there into the
food. That's very interesting.
I guess it's fine because Coughing would have died to knock into HJK also. After rocks.
Yeah, I guess. But I felt like he was either gonna high jump kick or U-turn. Why would he knock off?
That's true.
Yeah, maybe the Coughing was a better play there.
But like I said, this is what, like, we were talking about teeth. This is one thing that really helps is getting back of Violites because it actually keeps Coughing out of too high jump kick range.
Even after
that
rocks.
Actually ends up mattering a lot. Yeah.
It does win the speed tie there, and is able to remove that thing's a Violet. That's actually pretty good for Eric. That sets up the carve.
That's true.
I don't know if it was worth it though.
He still has.
Well, I mean, you don't really have a Foo switch in, really.
Well, now he doesn't really switch into Larvesta, like, actually.
Yeah, this thing is gonna mess him up. I guess you go Trap Inch here. Goes Pawn.
No, that's a terrible play. He's gonna get Flare Blitz.
No, you can sucker.
No, yeah, this is Scarf.
He did not know. See, this is what I was talking about. This is why you have to respect the, like, less known Pokemon, and as a player, you need to be up to date on all of the, like, more niche Pokemon, because otherwise this will happen to you.
Yeah, and now the Pharaoh's not even chipped. I guess.
Wait,
Flare Blitz? Wow.
That's
really bad.
Carve is
dead. Yeah. Does he have a win con still?
Wait, was this trade good for Osh though?
Maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not
Maybe
sure.
Maybe not.
He has 2 chances to kill this Natu with his speed tie. So he's gonna go to the drill bit
Oh,
first.
there's the
I think he
miss.
might rapid spin here.
Psychic
Oh, no.
knocks it out.
Well, okay,
Oh,
he has
okay.
a second
Second
try.
chance. Yeah, second chance.
He might or might not have a fake out here.
I'm surprised he didn't go for it the first. I feel like you would have gone for it first, wouldn't you?
No, because the Mianfu is a lot more valuable than.
Oh,
Okay,
loses
well,
the tie.
This settles it. Unless
No, I don't think it was
Keyway
fake out. Yeah, I don't think it was fake out because we would have gone for that first. I think. Put it into range of that way. It can't switch out or whatever.
Doesn't kill.
Oh, I assume Eric's coughing has T-bolt.
Every tie.
GG.
He's not gonna be happy about that one.
This Keyway doesn't kill.
Yeah,
so
but you just
that's
roost. You just roost here.
No, you don't out roost the Nox. Usually, I believe.
He might still choke.
We'll see. It depends on the rolls, because sometimes Pharaoh actually ends up only doing 38.
Wait, that's a bad Pharaoh. Oh no, it's a Ballalet still, but still looks like a bad Pharaoh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
so
it's really
can you explain
weak.
to the people what do you mean by a bad Pharaoh?
Wait, actually I don't know. Maybe Eric is 14 defense, not 2.
Well, okay. Explain the Pharaoh EV's dynamic, because I don't really trust myself to explain it.
So basically, before I think maybe like a year before, Pharaohs were usually a minus attack to keep the speed, keep it 7 or 8 speed. But then the point in special to have 10 special attack was really valuable to get the rolls on Mianfu, so people just dropped the speed instead.
Right,
and that ended up mattering here because that kind of lost him the game after he lost
also
the ties.
the attack matters for Natu a lot when Natu grows in popularity, because that's a great switch into Pharaoh.
Right.
I want to actually see if the normal Pharaoh how much that do to.
Well, we should probably.
Yeah, even if it's max defense not to. Even if it's max defense not to, Pharaoh should do more. So this is probably minus attack Pharaoh.
Yeah, probably.
Which is unlucky.
Anyways, pretty interesting game from Eric and Ash here. Unfortunate that those ties didn't go in Ash's direction, because I think he had a pretty hefty advantage, but that is the nature of Little Cup sometimes. So
I don't know if the trade of Larvesta with Carr was good for Eric, good for Ash.
Yeah.
I think keeping Larv would have been better.
It did open him up to the chance for those ties, but that's just the way it is. Anything else you guys want to say about this match? Okay. We will see you guys in the next video. Congratulations to Eric for picking up a dub here.